Hey people, this is Evgeny again, and today we have another video about Windsurf editor. So in the previous video we checked the hypothesis. It was like saying that it's the first editor which is supported by fully autonomous AI agent, and it's kind of a new generation and it can do everything. Like you give it a task such as create me a new application or build me a website or maybe establish for me a crypto company, and this thing can do everything for you. So in the previous video we tested and we saw the approach. We were very impressed with the thing which it can do, but we found also there are some drawbacks anyway, so it's still in progress. And today we are trying to take a look from a bit different angle. It will be a very big testing of Windsurf editor. And the idea is that we don't try to create another Facebook or Twitter. Instead, we are trying to work on already created project, Java project, and this will be taken from our previous sessions about Spring AI. And we'll try to keep this AI agent as a junior buddy, which will help us to do our stuff. And we'll check how good is that for doing these small steps where everything is more or less under our control. So I have really pretty big list of what should be checked there. We will try how to tackle different actions. We will try to clean up our code. We will do some sophisticated examples. We do refactoring, documenting. We will write integration unit tests. So please stick with me into this big testing of Windsurf editor and AI agents that supported it. First, now we know the name of the AI agent that's used here. The name is Cascade. So here's the button. You can call the console where you can communicate with the agent. And also there are two modes, chat and write. So if you're going only to ask questions or discuss something, then chat is your option number one. But if you want the agent to act on something, then use write. And it's called writing, but it's more about acting and doing this stuff. And I personally found this a bit confusing because it seems like the agent doesn't know the difference between writing and chatting. So you can go to chat and, for example, and ask to create something. And you see it starts doing something, but it can't because it's chatting mode. See this? See, and a lot of years first, and then okay, there is a suggestion. But anyway, this is a really small thing. What we are going to do today, we are going to take a different approach from the previous session. And just a small refresher, last time we tried to create an application from the scratch, letting the AI agent to decide absolutely everything. And that didn't work quite well because, well, without any control, it was generating all the time different stuff. Well, kind of. You saw the result, but the consistency was not there. And in this session, we will try to make smaller steps to keep Cascade more as a junior buddy, which would implement our thoughts or help us to code something. So let's see how it goes. And let's start a new chat. So what can we do here? Let's first get to know each other. I mean, the Cascade and our project. And this is the project from our workshop about Spring AI, and we'll try to modify it a bit during this session. So in here we do have some explanations already. So let's check it very quickly. We are using Spring Boot specific Java version. We are using Spring AI. And we use OpenAI integration, that's right. We have two endpoints, AI reality check, and we have the posts for generating social media posts, which is correct. What else? We do have several prompts, and we have some Spring dependency injection, REST API architecture, we're utilizing chat client, and so on. Okay, that looks good, right? Let's go to action mode and ask for run it. And this is a really cool thing because you don't have to worry about this stuff. Okay, maybe you do. All right, accept. And see, agent is taking care of that. Okay, it was started, and now let's try to make a call to our new server and how we should formulate that. And if you were not following our previous sessions, I'm referring to these examples HTTP, and we have 3 examples here, but I'm referring to one of these 2. And I ask AI agent to trigger the call and see what's the output. So use an example from HTTP file, make a call to create a new post, and let's see if it understands. Okay, it says now I'll help you make a request using curl to create a new post, context creator, and okay, let's accept it. It triggers the request. We do have a response, and here's the properly formatted, the same response, including all these emojis. That's nice, right? What else can we do? Okay, stop the server. So server has been stopped successfully. That's nice. Another thing, let's try to clean a bit the code. Like, for example, I don't think we need this AI reality check. It was the first one from the first workshop. We are not going to use it in the future. So let's give it a try. Let's be more generic here. Let's remove it, and so let's see if it finds out what the other stuff is. Okay, first let's remove the message Java file. It's interesting, I even don't know about this file. But okay, let's accept it. And by the way, see the difference, because the previous session Cursor Composer was reporting that you have to remove all the stuff manually. And here's the command, and this guy, it just does the work for you. All right, we need to review 2 files. Examples. We don't need this example anymore, that's true. And for controller, we don't need to have this post mapping and the method for endpoint. Okay, accept all. It performs everything automatically. It found all the necessary pieces that are not used anymore and cleaned them up. What else can we do? At the moment, we do have 2 different actors. Let's try to add another one. Alright, it says it created a new prompt file, committing actor with another personality. It updated. Okay, let's check it step by step. Your stand-up comedian with a witty sense of humor and so on. Let me make it wider. And then we do have an AI controller. We are loading another comedian actor, and we have it here as well. All right, that's correct. For the examples, we do have another example produced with platform Twitter and actor comedian. And that's it, right? Everything looks correct. Let's give it a try and see how it works, or if it works at all. No, it doesn't work. It's interesting. Okay, a controller, incompatible data types. In which class was that? And it's interesting, right? Because it generated some stuff and it never checked it. But It's very straightforward, right? Once you say, okay, you have a compilation problem, it immediately answers, yes, you're right. I don't know, I see the problem. It doesn't seem like a small change. And this is what I meant previous video, that this is not a good thing. Like, it rewrites a lot of code, because if you check it here, what's the difference? Okay, content creator. Now we're using enum. No, now we're using string. See, this was kind of architectural decision. Oh, it was string last time. It's interesting. Okay, actor is better, right? And enum actor in the same file. That's really nice. So we do have actor here as a separate file, and we have actor in the AI controller. That's nonsense. Let's do it this way. And I like this. I accidentally added the actor, like it's a real person. I don't know, maybe yesterday was a party and your AI agent is not absolutely ready to work, so it accidentally did something. That's really nice. Actor enum defined only in actor. Okay, sounds good. But we have to double check it again. Okay, we have an actor. Okay. Default was removed. Interesting. All right, accept all the changes. Everything looks good, right? It was already. Would you like me to start the server? I should reply yes, instead of just typing run the server. Okay, it started finally. Yes, please test the... And this is really interesting, right? Because you're saying, please test the newly created actor, and it's up to the machine, to this agent, to find the proper example with Comedian and run it, so you can speak in a more natural language. It's a Comedian. Hey devs, dive into the world of Spring AI. Okay. Okay, let's do it step by step. And I'm making typos all the time because of fast typing, but it understands me anyway. That's interesting. All right, and we have Reddit's programmer humor something. Let's accept it. And it automatically triggered this, right? Okay, cool. So what else can we do here? We still have to apply our newly created endpoint. Right, okay, let's accept it. Or create, maybe. Let's create a documentation. All right, it's finished. It was readme created, project overview and features, technical stack. It's interesting. I would be stuck for a couple of weeks doing this stuff. Social media content and features, generate social media posts. It's really nice things, right? And project structure we have, and API documentation, and even examples how to do the call and AI persons. That's really nice. Really amazing thing. And how to run the project and configuration and so on. Let me ask it a very tricky question. Make sure to configure your API key before running the app. Okay. Okay, let's check now. 3 different methods to configure. Getting an API, OpenAI API key, and there is a Algorithm, option 3, option 1. Option 1, environment variable recommended. All right, and this is, let me check. It's interesting, now we're using OpenAPI key. It's different variable. Seems it ignores this, right? Anyway, this is still amazing how it can create out of nothing the whole document. And talking about Java docs, let's check it. And we have REST controllers, and this is generating a social media post from an article link using special something specified by a person, and returns the appropriate prompt template. Okay, nice. And post params. All right, that's really beautiful. An actor. Okay, that's really, really, really cool. I'm applying everything. All right, what else can we do? Let's try and do some refactoring. For example, I don't like that we have all the logic in the controller. Let's write it right away. All right, what do we have here? A refactoring happened, first of all, and we do have a social media content service interface. We have an implementation of this service specific for OpenAI. We have prompt template service to manage prompt, templates, and actor-specific resources. We simplified a controller, and there were some key improvements and some benefits. All right. What I like, the documentation is still here, and we have a generate post and implementation. Then we have this generate post, and it's still the same, and prompt template service, and we have it here. All right, and prompt template service, we have 1, 2, 3 actors, and based on the actor enum we return in the specific one. Okay, that's nice. And now our content service generate post is much simpler. Okay, let's accept everything to missing type actor. Okay, it seems like we have compilation problems again. Let's just give straightforward orders like please check. All right, and again, this is something I still don't quite understand. Like we started with the fact that it seems that we have compilation problems with Java classes. And okay, first I don't understand, like when you were doing the refactoring, why didn't you check all this kind of stuff before producing the result first? You have to double check everything, all the changes, and validate that it's still compilable and so on and so on. The second, I don't understand that kind of messages, like let's also create the missing prompt template files. Like, come on, Cascade, the problem was not compilable Java classes. Why we are rewriting something in other places? And for you, that means, okay, I have to take a look at this, at these places again, right? And check that everything is still fine. All right, let's accept and try to compile it and build it. Okay, let's accept everything. So what do we have from the refactoring? We have some classes for, look at that, even the structures changed. Like we do have a service package where we have, I think this is the interface. No, this is an implementation and another class and an interface. What else can we do here? Let's do it this way. Create unit tests for the class. Let's see if it understands. All right, it also asks to run the tests and check that everything is still working. Nope. I see the issue. That's nice. Why didn't you do this in the first place? Let's run these tests again. Okay, let's run these tests again. Okay, let's check what was created. We do have some mocks here. Display name. Well, looks more or less okay, right? Yeah, let's accept everything. And maybe the last thing we can try here, and this is more complicated, like in general, let's try to create some integration tests. And we'll let the agent to decide for which components the test should be created. And it's pretty clever, right? It says that we need a test that covers the entire flow from the controllers through the services. And it will be using Spring Boot's test support and some mocking library as well. Okay, let's run the integration tests. Accept. Oh, it's not working. That's what I expected. Because first time it never works. Just remember this rule when you're working with the AI machine. And another try here. And another try, right? And what I like here, I think I didn't see it in Cursor Composer. We have this so-called man in a loop cycle when it's still working, but it stops and asks for my opinion, kind of. I have to accept or reject, and then based on that, the workflow will continue. So let's accept it. I really like this. Try and be our approach. All right, can I see what was done here? 6 files. How should I read that stuff? A lot of changes, right, in our AI controller. That's really okay. Constructor, social media content service. What's the difference? Only naming seems right. And this one was rewritten like, yeah, every time, probably every single change, probably it will create a new version. So this is the problem. This is the problem because, well, I asked to create a integration tests and instead it like changed half of my code base already and I'm not sure what was that. Create a new post. Okay, what was wrong is the old one. Generate post and response entity. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, so we have a response entity instead of map. It's interesting, right? Because just imagine this map is something which comes from our requirements and this was changed completely. Bad, bad, bad. No, I don't like that. I don't like those changes. Okay, Spring Boot starter, Makita, that's fine. What's post request? So see, a lot of architectural decisions made without me asking, and I ask only for integration tests. I don't think it passed the exam here, unfortunately. Sorry, Cascade. Sorry. That's something is wrong here. I'm rejecting everything. All right, so it was too hard to create integration tests for Cascade. Maybe the proper way would be if I created, or developer creates it first and then ask Cascade only to modify this without changing the structure of overall application. Okay, then last 2 checks maybe, and then we can finish here. Well, a couple of things I didn't get. I think I rejected it and it's still here for some reasons. Which means all the changes are done here as well, right? No, it's not. We still have a map. It's interesting, like I rejected the changes, but integration test is still here and it was created for some reasons. I don't know. The code is old and then also instead of just building the project, it started to analyze something, fixing something. It's interesting. Okay. Now let's check. It's interesting, like it's doing something in parallel. And I'm curious, in accepting this one first, everything will be broken probably, right? It's not so intuitive. Anyway, let's start first. Okay, and then content creator, Twitter, accept. See, it decided to go through all the examples here. And I never told it to show me the response. It's interesting because my expectation was that since this is AI agent and it has memory, it should memorize my previous preferences. So once I'm triggering the API call, I want to see the formatted output, and it was not provided at all. Yeah, let's trigger everything from the start, right? Which command? Okay, something weird is happening. This is the output. All right. I should do this first. Okay, it's doing something completely different now than previously. Let's stop it doing here. All right, that was big testing of Windsurf Editor, and it was really great because the tool is really helpful for every Java developer in this case, but in general for every developer, it's a great tool. But still, at least I don't know if you had this feeling, but I see still some drawbacks, like the most two painful point for me that first, there is no consistency at all. So if you have an architecture of your application, there is no guarantee that after doing a refactoring, or even if you ask to write a simple unit test, it can rewrite half of your code base. Like this is really dramatic change. Like you have to check everything all the time. It doesn't change. It doesn't test, for example, if the changes it made that if they are still compilable. For example, you have to ping the thing and ask, okay, please check it again. Please do it compilable back and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah, probably that's the main pain point was for me. Anyway, thanks for taking part in that. Thanks to seeing this video till the end. And well, it was Evgeny. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.